Teaching number 127. Close your material eyes to this manifestation, for it is your spirit I wish to converse with. I promised to come back and I couldn't miss attending this spiritual appointment with you. Have peace so that you listen to me carefully and let the chisel of my word model your spirit. You walked a lot in search of a place that would give you peace and you did not find it, and when you came for the first time to these humble places to hear my word, you did not imagine that in them, so poor and humble, you would find peace, that which you had longed for. I come to conquer you through love, for this I am giving you this teaching, so that with it you indoctrinate your brothers, travelers, walkers, with the request and charity with which I have received you. Man does not live by bread alone, because in him there is hunger and thirst that does not come from the body, and that, to calm them, they have to seek spiritual bread and water. But it is necessary for pain to touch you so that you understand my teachings. Some ask me, Lord, perchance human love is illicit and abominable before you and you only approve of spiritual love? No, people. It is well that the spirit corresponds to the highest and purest loves, but also in matter I deposited a heart so that it could love and I gave it senses so that through them it could love everything that surrounds it. I entrusted human life to the spiritual world so that it would come to live on earth, and in it would put its love towards me to the test. For this I divided human nature into two parts, giving the strongest to one and the most fragile to the other. Those parts were the man and the woman. Only united both beings could be strong and happy, and for this, marriage was instituted. Human love is blessed by me when inspired by the love of the Spirit. The love that lies solely in matter is typical of irrational beings, because they lack a conscience that lights their path. On the other hand, I will tell you that from good unions good fruits must always sprout and spirits of light incarnate in them. It is time that you purify your seed, O people, so that you form a family that is strong in spirit and matter. Understand me, my children, so that you interpret my will well, because the year 1950 is approaching, and you must remember that it is the one I have indicated for the end of my communication. I want that day to find you prepared, because only those who have achieved that preparation will be able to remain firm in their positions. Those will be the ones who in the future give true testimony of me. Think that only those who have managed to spiritualize themselves will be able to manifest my work, because those who have not been prepared for the new form of communication, how will they be able to have the necessary inspiration to receive my thoughts and interpret my messages? I want all of you to achieve progress so that your testimony is for the good of humanity. Beware that if some thought in one way and others in a different way, they would only bring confusion to the multitudes. The essence of this word has never changed since the beginning of its manifestation, in which I spoke to you through Damiana Oviedo. The meaning of my doctrine has been the same. But where is the essence of those words? What became of her? Hidden are the writings of those divine messages that were the first of this time, in which my word has been poured out so much among you. It is necessary that these lessons come to light, so that tomorrow you will be able to bear witness to how the beginning of this manifestation was. This way you will know the date of my first lesson, its content and that of the last one that I gave you in the year 1950, the year marked for this stage to end. Today, you still do not anticipate the chaos that will be in humanity after my word has been lifted, nor can you imagine the whirlwind that such an event will unleash among the nations. You must notice that your responsibility is increasing, because in each time you are having more and more light. Your heritage is already very large and it is essential that you share it with your brothers and sisters in need, before you leave this earth. Sensitize your heart so that you understand my word, because you have not yet understood it. How are you going to be able to receive and understand my word, when tomorrow gives it to you by inspiration? Unite in truth and in spirit and you will not be divided even in the greatest trials. One God, one will and one word have been with you, therefore, different mandates than the ones you have now been given cannot arise in the future. Will anyone dare override my will? That would be equivalent to the emergence of division and war within this people, because while some would take refuge in the truth, others would use false words to divert the congregations from the true path. Do not weaken, people, remember at all times that I have called you strong. If I have not disappointed your faith and I have proved to you that the essence of my word is not variable, how could you disappoint your brothers, giving them a bad example? Time is for you to go preparing what you are going to leave to future generations. Many in their hearts are saying to me, Master, are you looking at us that we are going to be unfaithful to you? How would it be possible? And I answer you the same thing that I told my apostles in the second era, watch and pray, so that you do not fall into temptation, because it is known to all of you, that among those there was one who betrayed me in exchange for money, and you did not know who, calling himself my disciple, does it at this time. My spirit calls you, my voice of the Master descends into your heart, and the spirit of your celestial Father will always be close to you, seeking you to give you his caress. I am the summit that every spirit must seek, because whoever reaches it will be able to contemplate all the beauty of creation and the splendor of the works of his Father. My word comes to chisel your heart, to sculpt your spirit, until it is similar in light to my spirit. See that you are not before confused understandings, but before one who comes to prove to you the perfection and truth of a law. I have brought you closer to the tree of life, from whose branches the good fruits hang. Today there is a feast in my house, many of you are at my table, but who among those present will turn their backs on me tomorrow? Only I know. Everyone who aspires to a spiritual inheritance, come to my table, sit with me and eat this bread, so that when you get up, you feel master of my peace, and your spirit becomes one more link in the chain of love that I am forming, and with which I am uniting my children. Come, come and knock on my doors. Come, you outcasts, eat and dress, but then go after my footsteps. Know the laws dictated by me and comply with them, so that you do not drink the cup of bitterness. Understand that whoever strays from the perfect path, strays from my kingdom and is in danger of meeting death. I am giving you more than each of you may need. Why? It is for you to give to your brothers what I have entrusted to you, but spiritualize yourselves, so that not only the sorrows that your eyes contemplate may move you, but even those that are beyond your gaze, because they will not be beyond the reach of your charity. Your sensitivity should not be restricted to feeling the sorrows of the beings of this world either. No, you must also sense when in the invisible a spirit approaches you in search of charity. In those cases, only spirituality can reveal these needs to you. How much joy my spirit will experience, when it contemplates that the river of life, which flowed from my bosom, is passing from one to another, quenching their thirst and washing them from their impurities. Take advantage of your life, because it is brief. A year is an instant lost in the immensity of time. Meekly follow the Father's plans and you will not lose a single precious moment of life that has been entrusted to you. I have told you that my complacencies have ended and that you must analyze, so that you understand what I want to tell you. The tolerance that I have had towards your selfish and materialized life has reached its limit. However, I will have new complacencies with you, but they will be of a spiritual nature. The book is open, it is I who opened it, its pages will constantly show you its divine content. My gaze envelopes you in these moments in which your prayer has reached me. My light as Father, Master and Judge has descended upon your spirit. Yes, people, because it is the day that I come down to collect your offering, to ask what is the fruit of the works that you come to present today. Your spirit is silent, your heart stops and your conscience attends your judgment. I no longer see you as little children, for you are great spirits who were placed by me on the path of spiritual perfection since the first era. That is why I have called you firstborn and have made you confidants and heirs of my spirit. That is why I come to ask you for an account and to ask you what you have done with your spirit and also with that matter, which has been entrusted to you as an instrument. I have sent you in this third era with the delicate mission of making known the light of the sixth seal and so that the great multitudes that will form my people gather around you. I have communicated through the human understanding to indoctrinate and prepare you, and I have set the year 1950 as the term for this communication whether or not you have taken advantage of the time entrusted to you. I have granted you the grace of communication from the spiritual realm of light, so that it may make your journey easier, and I have sent Elijah ahead of you, to clear your path and revive you in trials. I have sent you the angel of peace, so that you may feel his influence, defending you against the threat of wars and unleashed elements. I am speaking to you as a father, but do not look for me as a judge. I love you and I have waited for you a lot, but remember that my judgment will be inexorable on the universe and that you must be unified in me so that you rise up to deliver the word of the Master everywhere. If you aspire to peace and happiness and if you want to have the right to health and well-being, recognize that these graces will only be achieved by loving your fellow men, forgiving those who offend you, sharing your bread with the needy, that inexhaustible bread of the Spirit that I have given you in torrents. Be spirits of peace in these times of war in which your prayer is like a cloak of brotherhood that extends over the entire globe. I contemplate the earth reddened by human blood, and the men who do not cease in their crimes. Bring my peace to the world, because otherwise, my justice will be from nation to nation, and you too will have to answer me for your lack of charity. I do not want to see you before me as criminals, I always want to see you as my children, for whom my fatherly love is always ready to help you. I have created you for the glory of my Spirit and so that you recreate in me. I do not stop to contemplate your faults, nor do I want to see your sin, I want to see in you the purpose of amendment and the spiritual effort within my work. Learn to love me spiritually, as I love you, erasing your stains with my forgiveness. If this life in the valley of tears is an exile for you, cry and vent your pain on me and strengthen yourselves, because your spirit is being purified. Carry your cross with patience and resignation, letting the flame of faith and hope shine in your heart. Turn your face and contemplate the humanity orphaned of peace, but forgive her, if the effect of her war be felt in you. I bless those who have withstood the trials I have sent them, I bless those who have worked in my countryside, I bless the hands that have healed the sick and the men and women who have regenerated. I bless the sick who have blessed me in the midst of their pain and all those who have attributed the benefits they have received to my charity. But not only do I bless those who love me or recognize me, I bless all my children with the same love. It is my will that you destroy in you all fanaticism and everything that is superfluous in your worship, because I want to find in your spirit the true sanctuary to my divinity. Deposit my balm on the sick, but if with all your preparation and charity you were not able to heal some of them, leave that cause to me, and I am responsible for it. I tell you that if any of my disciples were to reach perfect spirituality, they would be similar to Jesus, who with his eyes, with his voice, with his will or just by touching, healed the sick and raised the dead. Disciples, just as I have come down to receive the fruit of this people, I have come to collect the harvest and tribute of the entire universe, of all natures, of all kingdoms, of all worlds and dwellings, of all beings known and unknown to men, from the most perfect to the most distant from perfection. Above all I am shedding my light and making my presence felt. Humanity spiritually lives in the third era, but everyone who does not know what the third era means, should study and delve into my word that is making great revelations to you, although much of what you have to get to know, you will not know in this life, because your intelligence would not be able to understand it. When you penetrate into the spiritual life, I will make new revelations to you. At this moment I speak to the nations of the earth. Everyone has my light, with it they will reflect that they have come to take life as if they were the owners of it. Truly I tell you, that your destruction and your pain has raised deep repentance in many and has awakened millions of beings to the light who seek and invoke me, and from them a cry rises up that reaches me, asking, Father, will not the war cease in 1945, nor will you come to dry our tears and bring us peace? Prophecy received on the January 1st, 1945. Behold my presence among you, O 7 nations. 7 heads that have risen in the world before me. England, I enlighten you. My justice will touch you still greatly, but I give you the strength, I touch your heart and I tell you, your ambitions will fall, your powers will be taken from you and they will be given to no one. Germany, I touch your arrogance at this moment and I tell you, prepare yourselves, because your seed will not perish. You have asked me for new lands and men have interfered with my high judgments. I touch your neck and tell you, take my strength and trust in me that I will save you, but if you do not trust in me and give yourselves to your pride, you will fall and you will be a slave of the world, but that is not my will, because it is the time when I have come overthrowing the lords and freeing the slaves and captives. Take my light and rise. Russia, my spirit contemplates everything. The world will not be yours. I will be the one who reigns over all of you. You will not be able to erase my name, because Christ who speaks to you will reign over all men. Dematerialize yourselves and prepare yourselves for a new life, because if you don't do so, I will break your pride. I give you my light. Italy, you are no longer the lord of past times. Today derision, slavery and war have destroyed you. You are going through a great purification due to your degeneration. But I tell you, regenerate yourselves, put aside your fanaticism and idolatry and recognize me as the Lord of Lords. I will pour new inspirations and light among you. Take my balm and forgive one another. France, you remind me of your pain. Your lament reaches the height of my throne. I receive you. Yesterday you rose as a lord, now you only show me the chains you drag. You have not watched or prayed, you have given yourselves to the pleasures of matter, and the dragon has preyed on you. But I will save you, because the cry of your wives and the crying of children reach me. You want to save yourselves, and I give you my hand, but in truth I tell you, watch, pray, and forgive. United States, at this moment I also receive you. I contemplate your heart, not of stone, but of metal, of gold. Your metal mind I find hardened. I do not find love in you, I do not discover spirituality, I only see greatness, ambitions and greed. Continue, but I ask you, when will my seed take deep root in you? When will you tear down your golden calf and your Tower of Babel, to build the true temple of the Lord? I touch your conscience, from the first to the last, and I forgive you. I enlighten you so that in the supreme hour, when the test reaches its culmination, your mind is not clouded, but you think clearly and remember that I am before you. I give you light, strength and power. Do not intervene in my high judgments, because if you disobey my mandates or cross the limit that I indicate, pain, destruction, fire, pestilence and death will be with you. Japan. I receive you and speak to you. I have entered your sanctuary and have seen everything. You do not want to be last, you have always wanted to be first, and in truth I tell you, that seed is not pleasing before me. It is necessary that you drain the chalice of bitterness, so that your heart may be purified. It is necessary that your language mix with other languages, it is necessary that the world draw near to you. When the world is prepared and clean, it will take you seed that I will deliver, because I see no one prepared. I do not contemplate in you the spiritual seed of my divinity. But I will prepare the way. Soon there will be chaos of ideas in the universe, confusion of sciences and theories, and after that chaos the light will come to you. I prepare and forgive all of you and cause you to enter the right path. When the time is set and peace comes to the nations, do not be reluctant, do not intervene in my high judgments, nor oppose my will. If the nations signed, you do not betray them, because then I will unload my justice on you. 7 nations. 7 heads. The Father has received you. Before you, under your rule, is the world. You will answer me for it. Be the light of the book of the 7 seals in each of the nations, so that men prepare themselves according to my will. My peace be with you.